Okay, everyone, so I am live and hopefully all of this will work. We've got about 20 minutes or so before the Hasbro Pulse live stream goes, where they reveal their new G.I. Joe HasLab. I'm excited about it. I did order the last HasLab, the His tank, and I thought before we get to that particular video and my reaction to it, I thought what I would do is talk a little bit about what they have revealed already for Yojo June. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up, here we go, good old His tank, which does a great job with their news. And I want to scroll down to what they've already revealed. And let's go right here. So we've got the Yojo June Week 1 pre-orders, and they showed a few different things. Some of these things we knew were coming. So here we go. So first of all, we've got the Crimson Guard, Python Patrol Crimson Guard. I liked that. I thought it was pretty cool. But it's just a repaint. That's all it is. I know that there's troop builders, and troop builders are a big thing. But we've got bats, we've got, you know, Crimson Guard, we've got the Cobra soldiers, the troopers, and I think they've done a good job with it. But I know that, you know, with some of these repaints, I don't know. It's not super exciting, but I was never a big Python Patrol person anyways. I was more just like the original Crimson Guard. So anyways, I did pre-order it. Of course I did. But that's what I think about that. I think I ordered 2 of those to have, you know, if I'm going to have one, I might as well have 2. That way you can display a couple of them at the same time. Then we got the bat, the Arctic bat. Now this one I do like a lot because it was significantly different. Is it a little bit of a repaint? Absolutely it is, but it has a different head. It's got, I think it comes with 2 different heads. It's got a different chest plate. It looks a lot different. If you didn't know this was a bat, you might not know that it was a bat. But this Arctic bat, I am very excited about. And yes, I did get a couple of those. So super excited about that as well. I'm going to skip over the Trouble Bubble here for a second and go to Dusty. We've got Tiger Force Dusty. That, again, not crazy excited about that, but I went ahead and got one because I'm just going to get all of these, I'm sure. But the Tiger Force repaint, the colors are a little bit bright. They even talked about that in their reveal video. I do like this figure. I like the original figure a lot better than this one, but this is just another repaint, and not super excited about that one, but I'll get one. I know with some of these repaints, basically what it comes down to is they've got a contract with, you know, Target or Amazon or maybe Walmart, and so they just taking an existing figure and just repainting them is what's happening. Then we get to the Trouble Bubble. Now the Trouble Bubble, I like a lot. Now I 3D printed myself a Trouble Bubble before, and it almost looks the same. So whatever design I ended up going with that was a pretty good design because it looks almost exactly the same as what Hasbro's come up with. I do like the fact that the figure that comes with this comes with 3 different heads. Very excited about that. In fact, let's see if I can go through. Yeah. So if we go through this, the Arctic Bat was an Amazon exclusive, but you could get it through Pulse. That is sold out now. There's the figure. Here you can see that there's some different chest plates. You do have 2 different heads. I like the chainsaw look to that as well. Here's another picture of that. And I think that this looks pretty nice. Very excited about that. Here's the picture again. And in action, there's the figure in action as well. And there it is. So the one thing I do like about this this head here is the coloring that they've got. This green and this blue I like quite a bit. So I'm excited about the Arctic Bat. I know I'm kind of going back, but this is all live, so I'm just kind of reacting to things. So they promoted their selfie series. The selfie series, they really want to promote that. You can get 20% off. I don't know. I don't need a figure of myself. So the Televiper And the trouble bubble is what I was talking about just a little bit ago. So let me move this up a little bit so we can get a better look at it. There we go. With the trouble bubble, the Televiper does come with multiple heads. The one thing that was difficult when I 3D printed mine was getting this shell that goes on the top. So I'm excited to get this one. Here's a good look at it. The price point on this, I think, is $60, which isn't too bad for a vehicle. The one thing that I've seen a few people complaining about is that when they revealed this, they didn't reveal that there was going to be like a stand, like a flight stand for it. And I agree, a flight stand would make this great. So I'm sure that there's some people that will come up with some, within the community that you can buy or 3D print or something like that. But man, it would have been really nice to have a flight stand to go with this. But you've got the 3 different heads. I do like that there's the 2 different skin tones, the 2 different race swaps is what they said. You could swap from one to the other. I thought that was pretty nice. But all of this I like a lot. The one thing I would say about the Televiper that I would have liked to have seen in the cartoon, the Televiper would have this, they would say something and then there would be something that scrolls across their visor there, and I think that would have been nice, a nice little touch to have something that could scroll across their visor, or maybe an alternate visor that would do that. That'd be pretty nice. This picture is a nice one. Got a good look there. This would have been really nice to just have something scrolling across, like, something Cobra-wise or alert or something like that. Maybe another head that could do that. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of customization that could do that as well. But that's my thoughts. I like how this weapon kind of wraps around their arm. I think they did a really nice job with the Televiper. Looks great. Here's another look at it. Kind of spinning it around. Now, here's something that's interesting to me. In the background of this picture, you definitely have these jump jetpacks on these figures. And to my knowledge, Hasbro hasn't released anything like that. I know that you can get some online, you can 3D print them, but is this something that they're kind of teasing? I'm not sure. But these jetpacks right here, I do not believe that they have released anything like that. So maybe that's something coming in the future. Maybe that's something that has to do with the HasLab today. Probably not. But there we go. All right, a few more pictures right there. I like how you can take the missiles on and off. The seat belt looks pretty nice. This little bomb is cool too. So I'm excited about the Trouble Bubble. You can see in this picture right here, you can see there's those jetpacks again. Okay, it's on there. That's gonna be that's such an easy thing to do. There's no way that they're not going to release something like that. So anyways, all right, these were all pre-orders. Hopefully you got your pre-orders in. They're showing that these 2 were Target exclusives, and then they revealed some pictures. There's Dusty, and there he is. Going to scroll through these pretty quick. The goggles are kind of nice. He's got a little face paint on him there as well. Some camouflage, I guess I should say, right? And then we get to the Python Patrol Crimson Guard Trooper. It is a really nice figure. And then scrolling through all of these, I think we are good. Yeah, I think I'm all the way back to the beginning. So there we go. We've still got a few minutes before the live stream goes for the HasLab. But let's take a look at just a couple other things, or I'll talk about just a couple other little things that I have an opinion on. Like, what is this going to be? What could this HasLab be? If we talk about that just a little bit, I've got a few ideas. I think that one would be, let's think about what they already released, the HISS tank, which I find it a little bit interesting that they're going to reveal another HasLab for the G.I. Joe classified line before the HISS tank has been delivered. I know they've given some updates on that, but man, it would have been really nice if we could have gotten the HISS tank in our hands before we got this new release. That just would have been really nice. But anyways, so if we think about this, what are they going to release? My gut tells me that it's going to be Joe related. It's going to be something for the G.I. Joe team. Since they did something for the Cobra side of things, they're going to release something for the G.I. Joe team. And it'll probably be something that is in conjunction or can be can go up against the HISS tank. So my gut tells me that they're probably going to do the Vamp, which is the Jeep. That's just what I think. And if they do the Vamp, I think that could be really nice. They could do it, that's something that could hold 2 to 4 figures, depending on how they make things, similar to the HISS tank as well. But how nice would it be if they would do the actual G.I. Joe tank? Now, that would be awesome. Now, if they really want to go all out and do a HasLab that people will get crazy excited about, they could do the tank and make it motorized. I think that would be awesome. So the tank itself, let's see. Oh, that's the one thing that I forget sometimes. One of the things that I'm terrible about is remembering the names of things. So we have that, the G.I. Joe battle tank. I'm not 100% sure what it was called. It was the Mobat. That's right. It was the motorized battle tank. So they call it the Mobat. That would be pretty awesome. Now, I think that would be huge, but if you want people to get excited about a HasLab, that would be one to get excited about. I don't know if people will be excited about the Vamp, which is the Jeep. And I guess I should probably pull up some pictures of these things here. Let's do that real quick. Let's go G.I. Joe Mobat. So the original Mobat, do some images here. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. So this is what we're talking about. This would be amazing if they could do the Mobat here. Let's bring that over. That would be so awesome if they could actually pull this off. Now, the problem with that is I'm sure that it would be extremely expensive. In fact, as things go right now, I thought the HISS tank was pretty expensive. I went ahead and got one. I want to see it soon, but if they did one of these to go along with it, I think that would be amazing. Now, another thing I would love to see would be the Wolverine. Now, that one would be awesome. And they could release quite a few figures with that. The Wolverine, let's take a look at this picture right here. A lot of people, you probably know what the Wolverine is. There it is right there. I think that would be amazing. Having the missiles. The thing of it is they've already released a cover girl who came with this originally, but maybe they're going to do something along with that and put, hey, we've given you cover girl, now we're going to give you her vehicle as well. Now that would be kind of dirty to do in my opinion, because if they've already given us cover girl, they could have saved cover girl for this vehicle. So it's probably not going to be the Wolverine, although this would be my ask right here. I would love to see that. So you've got the Wolverine, you've got the Mobat, you've got the Vamp. Let me go ahead and pull that up so that to remind anybody if they don't remember what that is. So here's the Vamp right here. All right. And this one did come with a figure as well. Here's a good look at it. So that would be cool. It came with clutch. I think that'd be this would be I would be happy with this if it was the Vamp, because that kind of matches up with the HISS tank as well. So we're getting closer to the stream. It's about 8 minutes away. So let's speculate just a little bit more. So the cost of the HISS tank was, what was it? Was it $500? Man, that's a lot of money. Let's look that up as well. Cost of HasLab. This is exciting stuff, right? His tank. So the original cost, let's go here, watching people, watching someone, there we go. Tank HasLab campaign has broken 20,000. The vehicle cost $300. It was $300. It came with quite a few figures. So $300 is still a lot. I think that's, oh man, that's way overpriced for something, but you know, I'm a sucker for it, and I did go ahead and get it. So what will this one be? I would love it if this one would come in at under $300. If it was $200 to $250, I would be but the way that inflation is hit and everything else, I wouldn't be shocked if it actually ends up being a little bit more than $300. So probably $350. If it goes up to $400, I don't know if it'll get backed, whatever it is. You know, it would have to be something just crazy amazing for it to be over $300 and get backed. So what else could it be? So I don't know. My gut still tells me it's going to be the Vamp, and it's going to be at about the same price point as the Hiss tank. So let's go G.I. Joe. Let's just go G.I. Joe tank. And there were quite a few different things that they could do. So this one right here would be interesting. I forget the name of this one. Oh, this was the Mauler. So let's take a good look at the Mauler here. That would be a nice one to do. There we go. So there's the Mauler. That was another one. This is another one that they could motorize. Here's a better picture of it, I think. So I think that one would be pretty cool to do. So you can see a couple of different versions of it. And I just think that it would need to be something that you could put multiple figures on. Similar to what they did with the Hiss tank, where the back end opened up and you could put some figures in. So I don't know. Again, my gut tells me, going back to it, that we're going to end up getting a Vamp, because there are multiple figures that can fit into that. So let's see here. Is Hasbro Pulse, have they started there? There it is. I'm going to pull this up, the fan stream. And they're playing a little bit of music. I am going to mute that for right now. But there we go. We'll see what's happening. Oh, something's changing. Let's take a look and see what they're advertising. Doesn't look like they're advertising anything right now. They're just getting ready. So we got about 5 more minutes or so on this. And I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Yojo June has been fun in the past, and hopefully it'll be fun today as well. So the one thing about these live, about these HasLabs that is, you know, interesting to me, whether you're talking about the G.I. Joe HasLab, you know, with the Hiss tank, or you're looking at some of the Star Wars things, or some of the, let me move this because I'm sure that this is distracting. Turn it down a little bit. The one thing about the HasLabs is, have they learned from their mistakes in the past? Are they going to learn from those mistakes? Is it going to be something that's great, that comes with a lot of figures? Because that's what people want. A vehicle, but with the option to get quite a few figures. I think that's why the Hiss tank was so successful, is because you ended up with 3 different figures, I think it was. You had the tank driver, then you had Cobra Commander, and then you had the technician as well. So you got 3 figures with that. I was kind of hoping for 4 figures, but that's okay. So you got 3 figures with that. This has got to have at least 3 figures coming with it if it's going to succeed. The Rancor that they tried to do for Star Wars, they tried to add figures in at the end, and it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. What else did they have? Some of the Marvel Legends ones, those went through. Like if you think about Galactus, because he's gigantic. That was a huge figure that a lot of people loved. I didn't get it. I have a few Marvel Legends, but I don't have those giant ones. And then the same thing with the Sentinels that they did for the HasLab. The Sentinels were huge. So I'm excited to see what they do here. But with the Star Wars ones, they just haven't hit. There hasn't been anything. I mean, the last two have failed. The Reva's lightsaber failed, and then also the Rancor failed. And I think it was because there just wasn't enough. When people are strapped for money and they're shelling out money for these HasLabs, there better be multiple figures that go with it. If there's only 2 that come with this one, then I don't know if it'll get back to all the way. Looks like we get about 2 more minutes before the stream starts. So I'm just not sure how this is going to go, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, with that said, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, and I'll be back in about 1 minute and see how this goes. All right, I am back, and it's going to start in about 15 seconds. At least that's what they say.
This is General Hawk, commander of the G.I. Joe forces, with a special announcement for the people of Earth. Recent intelligence has uncovered evidence that Cobra is developing a fleet of heavily armored tanks that pack a serious punch. Unchecked, these high-speed sentries could give Cobra the edge in their plans for world domination. That's why we need your help. G.I. Joe has partnered with HasLab to create the very first classified series G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1, with anticipated deployment in summer of 2024. Operation Dragonfly, however, cannot commence production unless we secure 10,000 backer orders by midnight on July 17th. Starting today, each HasLab helicopter you back for $274.99 could get you a G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1, along with an action figure of the latest G.I. Joe classified recruit, William Wild Bill Hardy. This assault copter offering represents the pinnacle of G.I. Joe's anti-armor technology, with push-button light-up LED interior display panels and exterior lighting. It's a massive 34 inches long from the tip of the front turret barrel to tail. The rotor blades feature manual blade spinning action and positioning. The base offering includes removable missile and cannon accessories, which allow you to customize your XH-1 armament loadout, as well as 6 blast effects and a display stand to pose your assault copter fleet in dozens of possible combinations. The functioning hoist with cable and rescue hook allows you to deploy additional Joe troops, each sold separately for infiltration and extraction or rescue ops.
In other words,
HasLab and
figures
I
that
have
will
provided a full
unlock
dossier specifying the
with the
extraordinary
different tiers.
features and details of the Operation Dragonfly offering on the campaign homepage. Cobra Commander is one tough cookie, and Cobra forces will follow him to the gates of oblivion. So, we'll need to expand the ranks of the G.I. Joe team to combat that threat. If Operation Dragonfly reaches 13,000 backer orders before the end of the campaign on July 17th,
So
you'll
given the Tier
unlock
1
a
unlock.
classified series Night Force Ripcord action figure.
All right.
Expect 2
I like
additional
this.
top secret unlock
So far, I'm
tiers
liking
to
this.
follow, with more new recruits to the Joe team.
2 more recruits.
Operation Dragonfly can't succeed without your
So we're
help.
looking at potentially
We've been
4
whipping
figures.
the scales off Cobra on the land and the sea.
Price of
Now let's
$279,
finish the job from the air,
which is
with
less
as
than
many
his tank.
XH-1 helicopters as possible. Facing Cobra with less firepower than this could put us at a serious disadvantage. We're counting on you. Yo, Joe!
I'm a little bit surprised that it wasn't a land vehicle, but this Dragonfly, I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. That looked really nice. I was way off on what I was predicting, but less than $300, so less than the HISS tank. Potential for 4 figures, because it already comes with...
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness, that thing is huge.
Welcome to a very
And I gotta turn
special
Emily
edition
and Liddy
of our
down a
Yo
little
Joe
bit.
June fan streams on Hasbro Pulse. We are here to officially launch our new HasLab campaign.
But that looks amazing. I gotta admit,
It's beautiful. So
this is pretty awesome. All right, let's listen to what they have to say just for a few minutes, and then I'll react to a few things. Here we go.
XH-1.
It's a prehistoric dragonfly, this thing. It's enormous. Look at this thing.
We are so excited. So if you are inclined, so the campaign is open right now over on HasbroPulse.com. So you can be one of the first people in the world.
And it
to
comes with a
back
stand.
the
That stand right there, the flight
Operation
stand, looks
Dragonfly,
great.
as we are
We need
calling
one of
it,
those
our
for
HasLab
the trouble
campaign.
bubble.
Best hidden secret.
Right? And we've really appreciated all of the amazing feedback that we've been getting on kind of our marketing campaign for teasers for this. It's really important to us to kind of build up the story for why a Dragonfly? Why is this the next kind of vehicle that we are creating for Classified Series? So definitely shout out to our amazing team who's been working so hard on this. Jonathan and Mark have been absolutely slaying it.
I do kind of like, just to pause it real quick, I do kind of like that they're tying the story in together. They were like, Cobra's making his tanks, or tanks, we need something to combat it. Well, this is good. It's a tank killer, if you will.
Yes,
On
very
all
much
of those
so.
teasers, so thank you so much. But Lenny and I are here today
Hi.
to actually kick off the campaign and talk to you about our Dragonfly, which is a 34-inch long helicopter, which
It's humongous.
it's enormous.
It's glorious. When you see it next to the HISS tank, you're like, this world is coming together. And like speaking personally from a G.I. Joe standpoint, it's just like the world is starting. The pieces are coming together, and the figure line is like it's creating a life of its own. And seeing these vehicles,
They really
it
are
brings
doing
it
a
back.
nice job with
And then
this
it bring-
figure
then,
line.
like, your,
It's
like, nostalgia brain kicks in.
I think that it, because it's brand new, they're not locked into some things. They can do pretty much whatever they want. They're doing a really nice job. It didn't start off great as far as like some of the sculpts and things like that, but now that they've gone back to those classic designs, the classic designs are what people love to see. So, because they were so great when they came out originally. So here we go. Let's keep listening.
We're going to update some of the tolerances, details like that. So nothing like that's baked in.
What's a CAD file for the people at
CAD
home
file
who
is
may
a
not know?
3D file or of the sculpture, essentially, and it's the working file. So it has all the features baked in. We use that file to cost the product. We use that file to troubleshoot the product. And then we take it to the first model, which you see here, and then we kind of troubleshoot again. And then we'll probably make another model from there before we go to final. And then from there, we have a bunch of EP samples. That's that engineering pilot.
Troubleshooting is difficult as well. I've done some designs, some 3D designs myself. If you've watched anything on this channel before, on my channel before, I did the Dr. Mindbender computer. I'm also currently working on a G.I. Joe snake that you can actually put people in. So the snake is that Cobra kind of robot, thing that you can drive. So I've been working on that. A couple of my 3D printers are down, and I've got to get those fixed because I want to give an update on that. But this is pretty exciting. I'm very excited about it. I want to get a better look at that Wild Bill figure as well. So here we go. Let's go back to hear what they're saying.
Now, but like his tank is 19 inches long.
I believe so.
I think that's how long the tail is.
Yeah.
So it's enormous, to say the least. It's awesome, and it's jam-packed with features, which I think I should probably take them through.
Tip to tail as a feature set kind of a thing, or however you get to them.
Let's do tip to tail, yeah, because
go for it.
I'm right here,
I just want to make sure that we don't have any notes on this, so we're doing this all from memory. So I just want to make sure you don't miss anything as we go through.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the Gatling gun. On the front,
They should have a teleprompter.
It has its articulate, it swivels rather. So I don't want to push it too much because again, I remember telling you guys this is a first model, so the tolerances aren't there, but we're working on that full range of motion. It'll also up and down movement, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
See, it uses our 1.5 millimeter port system in the front, so most blast effects within the line will work on it, which is really cool.
See, that's the thing, though. He's talking about blast effects. There's hardly any blast effects that they've released. What they need to do is they need to release a blast effect, like a blast effect, supplement set. They could probably sell it for $10. People would buy. People would be all over that.
Right, and it also gives it a reciprocation action. So like, it's not a mechanical feature, but it kind of like lets you pose it out. So it's almost like an articulation point, so you can kind of have them however you'd like. What also is really cool, and I didn't know that Mark was doing this in the onset of the project, but he added these in. And this is very similar to the Sky Striker. And then inside you can see
well, that's pretty nice.
That go on to the machine gun. And all this
yeah, that's really nice. You can open it up. Being a toy photographer, anytime you can add something a little bit different to kind of tell a story, so you open that up, they're working on it, I think that'll be pretty cool. So, yep, the engine as well. That's pretty nice.
And there's also, so in addition to having the gray model, our physical model here, if you go onto HasbroPulse.com and look at the PDP, or the product display page, we have digital product renders in full color so that you can see exactly what this will look like.
So one of the things that the Star Wars team did a great job on with one of their HasLab projects was the Razor Crest. And the Razor Crest itself, you take it apart and you can open things up and you can get inside. That was an amazing HasLab project. This one looks like it has some of those things. You open this up, you open that side panel up, you open the engine up. All right, he's talking about the guns on the side. I'm sure that those will be swappable.
The ribbon feed for the machine gun, and then of course blast effects will go on. We'll arm it up towards the end, but I want to show you guys all those parts and pieces. Then we have the rockets that post onto the side, and they rail onto the side. If I can get this to pull off nicely. As you can see there, we have the dog bone pin, which is really cool.
Dog bone
pins. On the other side, something that's really fun about
those were
the toe
on the original G.I. Joe figures. Whatever works, right? If it worked then, why doesn't it work now? It does.
The winch, the way that works is it's got a button baked into it, and then when I press the button, I could pull the tow winch down like that.
Okay, that's cool. I like the tow winch thing. If you got it up on that display like that, you can have a couple of figures on the inside. You can also bring that tow winch down just a little bit, and then you can spin it back up. I see what he's doing there. But you bring that winch down a little bit, and then you can have a figure hanging from the bottom as a part of the display as well. I like that. Yeah, that's really nice, and I think that's a nice design too, because sometimes if you put a figure on the end of that, and it didn't have that locking mechanism, then the weight of the figure is just going to weigh it down. So that's well designed. That's well designed. I like that.
So if you want to display multiples of them, you will be able to have them look different. You will be able to have them look like your Dragonfly. Like we want this to be yours.
Emily just said if you want to display multiples of them. So there will be people that buy more than one of these. I don't think I'll be one of them because I just don't have the cash to do that. But you can customize it, and I do like that. I think the customization is something that is very uh, important for these HasLab things, so that the more stuff you get, the more likely you are to have people buy it. Now, some of the customization that they put on the HISS tank, I don't know. I'll do a little bit with it, but I think the traditional HISS tank looks the best by itself.
In the launch video, but just to clarify, everything that we are talking about today that is physically featured on this table right now, this is all in the base offering.
Yes.
So this is, we're not even talking unlocks at this point. This is all base offering. So you get that.
So that's good. If you didn't catch that, she says this is the base offering. Everything that they're showing right now is the base offering, and it should be because there's quite a few things that they have on the table, and that's going to get people to jump in. So I like that. That's important. I think that they're listening to the fans a little bit there. They're giving quite a bit just in the base offering. So let's keep going.
A helicopter, you get the stand, you get the blast effect, you get the armaments, you get Wild Bill. And so I think that it's from an instant kind of collection. That was one of the things that I loved about the Sky Striker, was it really did feel like an instant collection.
Yeah, 100%.
For the base offering. And so that's something that we're really kind of anniversarying here, is bringing that back and making it say like, okay, so just the base offering is this amazing kind of storytelling experience, and then the unlocks are just kind of fun bonuses that add to the storytelling.
Yeah, it's, again...
She says they're fun bonuses, but those fun bonuses are extremely important for getting this backed, heavily backed.
Chips and salsa.
Because if the only figure that came with it was Wild Bill, that would definitely not be enough. Definitely not be enough. So there's quite a few things that I do like the fact that they have the blast effects as a part of it. There you go. Lenny's talking about the blast effects a little bit. Let's turn that up.
Blast effect ports inside of there. You look at that.
That's an insane number of blast effect ports.
Yeah, so you can kind of customize and show how
it's amazing.
It's firing out, which is super fun. I'll go ahead and throw that on the other side.
Yep. And then, just so that you know, for the blast effects that are currently molded in that clear plastic, they will be also fully colored. So this is not you will not see. They will not arrive to you just as clear plastic.
No, yeah.
Well, of course, Emily.
It gives the
I don't think anybody expected that the blast effects would be clear.
As possible with deco on it as well.
Yeah.
So we should probably talk. Oh, you know what's really cool about this too? Like the original Dragonfly, you can have the offset tail. Kind of, if you guys remember.
Now, it wouldn't be bad to be able to get
design.
for those people that really like to paint models and minis and things like that. It'd be really cool if they could send you just a blank slate like this that was all gray and you could customize it yourself. That'd be kind of nice.
So true to the original, but you
I know that's not going to happen
though. Like silhouette, or like you want a vibe of what the character was or the vehicle was. But so I thought this was a really nice addition to kind of let the consumer adjust it, and you can play into the fantasy of like maybe that helps it steer a particular way. But also the tail thruster also spins, and it has this kind of cool exhaust detail on top. This comes off, and then you can see
there you go.
On the inside.
I was going to say that looks a little bit different because on the original figure you had that second look that he just revealed. It looked more like that on the original
That's the attention to detail that I love
toy.
That Mark brings to these products.
And we do have, so we're talking about many Marks. We actually have two Marks on our team. We have our wonderful product designer Mark and our amazing brand writer Mark.
We have a lot of Marks.
Yes.
A lot of M's on the team.
Yes, and they are wonderful. Everybody on the team has been so wonderful. So also just shout out to the development team for all of their amazingly hard
So I wonder,
let's
well, they're kind of going over a few things because we get the idea of what's happening here. What about this price point, $279? Now, I said beforehand that I would love it if that looks really cool there, the spinning blades. Let me press pause on the let's press pause on the price point just for a second, and let's talk about the spinning blades. The one thing that I'm hoping that this will do is these blades will actually stay parallel to the ground. On the original toy, they would always droop down a little bit. Now I know there's a little bit of drooping with real helicopter blades as well, but That was kind of annoying a little bit, the way that the original toy would droop down. So now he's looking at the cockpit there.
You can put it back down.
Man, that thing does just look huge.
Pose it out for quick release. Actually, I might have to, because it's a model, I'll probably pick it up.
There we go. That's really nice. So the side, the canopy opening from the side or lifting up the whole thing. Boy, that's really nice. And they do it, and it does it on both sides.
And Mark was inspired by
like that quite a bit. Oh, you can see that there's a little bit of a, what is that? The seat belt on the inside as well. So.
Which is going doors, which is super fun. So, on that note, we should stay in the cockpit.
We should stay in the
cockpit.
cockpit.
There's a lot of cool stuff going in the cockpit. So, also in the cockpit, you guys will notice, and keep me honest, guys.
Looks like those side windows only open on one side or the other, not on both sides.
Mil-spec kind of detailing on them, and they have these really awesome seat belts that, just like the Trouble Bubble, are going to be a post, and they'll post into themselves. I almost wonder, Emily, hold the base real quick.
Oh, he's going to try to take it down.
And then let's.
There we go.
Hold the cockpit up so that it doesn't fall on this one.
Oh, this is a balancing act.
Yep, you're doing great.
Oh, he's going to turn it around so it's facing downwards instead of facing upwards.
As you can see, so we had it in its pretty much its takeoff mode. This is its kind of veering down mode.
Yeah, that's kind of more of an action pose there.
It shows that the stand, which we've been remiss to talk about, this giant stand that it comes with, it gives you two kind of poses you can do with it, which are really cool.
Once again, we need a stand for the Trouble Bubble as well. Can you imagine having this and then a couple of stands for the Trouble Bubbles, you know, kind of flying next to it? That's what I would like to see. Maybe that'll be something that they unlock in the tiers.
But as you can see, jumping back,
although that'd be kind of silly.
Really cool detail Mark put onto here. I think at the end of the day, we'll probably add some mold etching. Mold etching goes into the mold after the mold is.
Quite a few details that they're showing off right there. This looks really nice. I know this is a reaction video. I'm thrilled with this right here. This is better than the Vamp. Much better than the Vamp could have been. It's better than the tank. Although if they built that and it was motorized, that would be pretty awesome too. Here's what they really need to do. How great would it be if they could motorize the rotor just so it would just have a slow turn to it? That'd be pretty neat. But that'd probably put the price way up higher than $300.
A product that is continuing in development, and we'll make sure to give you all the updates that we can, but it is this or something better.
So we should illuminate.
Oh, so there's going to be some lighting effects. Let's see if they actually have it working here.
No, you're doing great.
The lighting, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty great, man. That looks pretty nice. I know that we're just barely seeing it on, on a computer screen right here, or television or whatnot. But that looks really nice. And if that could get lit up, that'd be really. I think some close-up pictures. If you could get the light from the screens kind of reflecting off of your figure's face, off of Wild Bill's face, or something like that, that would be great. And if they're going to go this direction with the Dragonfly, how long is it going to be before they do something with a Sky Striker or a Cobra Rattler?
Let me know how you want this thing. Hold on a second.
What's he doing here? Oh, they're trying to get a better look at the camera look. They need to get that rotor out of the way. There we go.
Now again, this is the first model, so we're going to work out those hot.
That's really nice. Now I don't know that I like that you can kind of see the lights down underneath where their feet would be, but that's really nice. That's pretty detailed. Those consoles, the flight consoles, are really detailed. I know that I wanted to be a little bit critical of things. I wanted to really pick some things apart, but they're knocking it out of the park with this one. I love the Hiss tank, but this is better than the Hiss tank. This is by far better than the Hiss tank. I mean, it's not even close in my opinion, and I think the Hiss tank looks really great. But I think now, looking back, if you think the Hiss tank was $299 and this is $279, I mean, And the HISS tank, like it reached its goal in less than 24 hours. This is definitely going to reach the goal in less than 24 hours. At least the tier 1. If this doesn't go through all the tiers, I would be shocked.
Yeah. So it looks really cool. Again, it's that like helicopter spotlight that like it just fulfilling the full fantasy.
Oh, you can barely see it, but those light effects, they were just showing those light effects on the bottom. It's kind of like a spotlight, he was saying.
Clicks to 3 different light sequences. And by the end of the product, when we finish the gameplay document, because you have to do gameplay documents for lighting because it's still gameplay.
You should see the HISS tank construction sheet. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Gameplay's fun. It's basically it's a program map.
Yep.
So we'll work out the program map to see what other cool things we can do.
Oh, they're just talking about the different ways that they can do the lighting on that.
Let's put some blast
so that they
effects
can.
on
I wonder
there,
if they
and
could
then I'll
put
talk
some
about
different
the-
colors in there. That'd be
Alright,
pretty
so the
nice.
blast effects are-
Do a RGB LED in there instead of just a white
or
LED.
we were calling them rocket effects.
All right, so he's going to have some of the
So
blast
they're
or
cool.
rocket effects here. Let's see. Oh, I muted him completely.
So you can
Sorry, Lenny.
so that you
All right, let's see what we got.
can on the
Now again,
itself. So what's fun about that is if I put this
we're not going to get the best look in the world because these aren't painted.
and then I can have a rocket. Thank you. And you put the rocket
Oh, I see what he's doing. So it looks like you can hook the blast effect or rocket effect. He's got to turn it around the other way onto the side with.
in there.
You could put it onto the side
Like it has like a movement to it.
with the bone.
Sculpture is what I love
What did he call it? The bone connector or whatnot.
taking out the night.
That looks pretty. Oh man,
You know what I mean?
that is really great right there.
Let's put them all
I know this is crazy that there's not. I'm trying to be critical. I want to say something bad about this right now, but I'm having a hard time finding anything to say bad about this. I just wish it wasn't $280.
It looks cool. And then
What was it? 274, 279? Did they say?
what you gotta do is you gotta pull the front gun out. So use your nail and pull the front gun out. So the blast effect.
Oh, he's going blast effects on the side there as well. You can deck this out. I think they learned a lot from the Sky Striker and all the different things that they put with the Sky Striker. This is going to be pretty amazing when you see everything in color, which I'm sure they're going to give updates. But I mean, that looks great.
We're gonna have really cool
Oh.
ways on them. I'm so excited for this thing.
I'm excited for it as well.
It's just like
Lenny just said he was excited for it. I'm excited for it. I want to stop this live stream and go order it, but I know that I've got plenty of time to order.
Because it is.
The unfortunate thing is that they said, what did they say, summer of 2024, so that's about a year away, and they'll probably charge our credit cards sometime in the next month or so. The deadline is July 17th to reach for this to get backed. It'll be backed in 24 hours. I would be shocked if this isn't backed in 24 hours. All right, they're focusing on the figure a little bit. Let's listen in.
But it was massive on that beautiful feathered hair. So what we did was we merged one set of hair with the hat so it fit nice and snug on top of his head. And if you do want it without the hat on, you just swap it out, put the toupee on, and he looks sweet.
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie. I can't do that here. This is all glued together. Figure models are a little different than vehicle models because they articulate.
Yeah.
So we have to
So you can
kinda
enjoy
glue them
him with his
together.
hat on for now, and in the future
Yeah.
you'll be able to
In
see
his
him.
stiff pose.
Yes.
So
So
when
they
did
come
you
with
ever
this
see
trusty
Wild
knife,
Bill
which is
without
incorporated
his hat
into
on?
his,
It would be
knife.
great.
The
And what they
knife
need to
is
do,
not intended
and I don't
to be
know, maybe he
removable,
said
it's
this, but
secondary.
is to
If
have the
yours feels
hat
so
that he
fine,
can
you
hold
get
in
it
his
off the figure
hand.
pretty easily, which is great.
That's
to
what
classify
needs to
it.
happen right there.
His glasses are also removable, his sweet sunglasses. And he also has 2 6-shooters on the side, which are both removable. You can't see it, you might be able to see it in the camera, but he has his iconic Longhorn belt buckle. I flattened it so that it would feel a little more
So he said that the
embroidered,
sunglasses
more
come off.
etched.
Hopefully they
It
don't
also
like
helps
stick
him
into his
in
head
sitting
the
in
way
the
that they
seat if
did
it was
with
raised.
the Baroness
Thinking about
figure,
raising it,
especially
I
the
like where you
second
get on top
Baroness
of it
figure
with
that
that,
they
like, crazy
released on the
Cthulhu
card,
thing,
on the
but I
vintage
think it would've
card.
hindered his seating, so
That
he
just
designed it like the original figure
that
does.
looked
But he also
bad.
has
You took
this
the
2
you took the
6-shooter
glasses
belt,
off
which
of
you
her,
could spin
and there were
around.
like holes in her
Because the
head.
original toy had the 6-shooters facing the other way because he would cross draw. But if you look at the back of the figure, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get the details, but there's
Nice.
a Longhorn in the back
6
of the belt
shooters
as
are
well.
nice.
And you can see all the embroidery maybe on the side. He's got embroidery on his cavalry gloves, which are really cool.
I'm a
And
little
the
bit
vest
surprised that they
itself,
didn't have
we had a lot of stitching, a lot of
at
leather
least the
patterns.
Wild Bill
Wanted him to feel
painted.
very Wild West.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Very, very cowboy. And I think it comes across. His boots are awesome. The leather texture. Matt, our sculptor, is phenomenal. Did the portrait on this guy. His texturing's awesome.
I want to see
That was
his
another thing too
mustache.
with making his face. Sometimes when you put a big old
Zoom
walrus
in there.
mustache on somebody or a big old beard, they look a little older. In my case, it's white, so I look older than what I am. But in the case of him, we were running into that issue, so we worked his face to make him feel like he's like in his early mid 40s, but he has this big old bushy Wild Bill mustache on, and he's sweet. So yeah, super excited about the figure.
Yeah, I think
Super
Wild
excited
Bill
about
looks
all
pretty
the
good.
other
But
figures
again,
that
I
we'll
think
show
if
you
you
guys
take
in
the
time.
hat off,
And overall, this is a phenomenal
so they
project.
sculpted the
I
hair and the
hope we get
hat
funded.
together
Thank
so
you
that you
guys
could
for all the
swap it
support
out
you're ready to
Yes.
give the brand. And, it's just,
and put his toupee on. They need to have a hat that he could hold in his hand. All right. Sounds like they're wrapping up. Let's kind of hear what they had to say at the end here.
Every time they let us do one of these, we're all just kind of like, these are dream projects for us
Yeah.
to get to work on.
She said every
This
time we
is-
do this. They've only
it's
done
so-
2.
It's so different than what I mean, it's all toys, but getting
This
to
and
work
the
on
His
something
Tank
that's
are the
this
only
big
2
and this
they've done.
complex that we get to just kind of throw a bunch of things into to make it a dream item for fans is pretty amazing.
100%.
So we are all very lucky, and so as Lenny said, thank you for your continued support from the G.I. Joe community, and we think that this is kind of a home run, and we are really, really excited to see all of your reactions to this. So
Emily
let us
just
know
called it a
what you
home run.
think,
I
how
have to
excited you
agree.
are. If you're gonna get your Wild
This
Bill
is
figure and give it a
amazing.
big yeehaw, which is not usually something we get to say when we're talking about classified figures, which is really fun.
Yeah.
But this has been so much fun to work on.
So I know that Hasbro takes a lot of flack because of a lot, excuse me, a lot of different things. Price points, the packaging that they redid, where they took away the windows. They,
right next to what will be my stack.
Some of the HasLabs that they have done in the past with other lines, but the G.I. Joe team is doing a great job with it, and this thing is amazing. This is going to be the centerpiece. The way that you can display it like this is going to be the centerpiece of a lot of people's collections. This is, I think the most difficult thing that people are going to have with this is where do you put it? Where do you display it? All right, it is live. She's saying that it's live right now, the campaign. You can go order one right now. It looks like somebody in their stream said that it's already at like 2,000 backers. So, I mean, and it's been going for 30 minutes. I mean, it's going to hit 10,000. Now, the one thing that they didn't even talk about hardly at all was they hardly talked about the ripcord at the beginning. So I'll go back and kind of look at that one more time. Take a look at that ripcord once they finish this live stream. But they want to hit 10,000.
Yep.
So the 13,000 unit unlock goal is actually a Night Force ripcord figure.
And I would very much so like to make him.
I would very much
There he
like
is.
my
There's
collection.
ripcord right there. Oh, that looks great.
You know we love a good HasLab callback in
Yep.
our future HasLabs, so this is a callback to our Sky Striker campaign. Really, really excited about it. This time around, all of the figures that come with the
Oh, I guess they did do. I apologize to Emily. They did that Sky Striker HasLab. I was thinking classified line only. So, I'm sorry, Emily. You'll never watch this, but that's okay.
The classified series sequence, that's all the numbers.
Somebody is probably yelling at me when they heard me say that.
And so you get everything that you see here. That's right, this helicopter, this beautiful stand, these
The television's in the background as well?
and our friend
I want that
Wild
t-shirt.
Bill for
Throw
the
that
price of
Dragonfly t-shirt in with it.
$274.99. So that is our base
$274.99.
and then you'll get all of the unlocks as we unlock them as well.
And they
So
definitely
we're
are
so
going to
excited
unlock.
make
And it
sure
looked like that they said that there were going to be maybe 4 figures to be unlocked. This is top notch. I still wish it would have been a little bit lower price wise, just because money. But to have this with the potential for 4 figures, that display stand, a 2.5 foot vehicle to come in underneath the price for the HISS tank. That is pretty awesome. All right, let's see if Hawk has anything else to add.
Recent intelligence has uncovered evidence that Cobra is developing a fleet of heavily armored tanks that
Oh, this is
weigh
just the same
serious
commercial that they
tons.
played at the beginning.
Unchecked,
This is the same thing that they said at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up. I've been on for about an hour now, this is the longest stream I've ever. This is actually the first live stream I've ever done. So, if you like this, I would love it. A subscription, pass this on, share. I mean, this looks amazing. 10 out of 10. I'll probably do a follow-up video, just to a shorter one, to give my opinion on some of this later on today. But they need 10,000 backers by July 17th. They might have 10,000 backers in the next 24 hours. Same thing with the HISS tank. They're going to hit that. They need 13,000 to get to the point to Tier 1. And the first thing that they revealed for Tier 1 is that other figure. There's Wild Bill. That looks wonderful. The 6 shooters look great. Again, the only complaint I would have with that figure is that it needs to have a hat that he could hold in his hand, as opposed to just the one that's on his head. The lighting effects on this look really nice, and this is just right at the beginning. The exterior lights, kind of difficult to see. Those rocket effects are looking great. It's, obviously the rotor spin at the top. I wonder if some of the decals and stuff, like what they did with the Sky Striker, if they're going to give you different options to put different decals and different logos on things. The Dragonfly logo at the bottom. There's everything right there. Let's go back. So everything that you get. I went a little bit too far. Let me pause this at the right spot. Everything in the Tier 1 that you get is shown coming up right there. So there's everything that you get in that Tier 1. You get, obviously, the vehicle, the stand, you get Wild Bill, you get, looks like 6 different blast effects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 different weapons that you can put underneath the side wings, and then you've got the rockets on the side. This is great. This is exciting. And it's going to hit 13,000 backers. I would be shocked if it didn't. That means that you're going to get Ripcord as well, so at least 2 figures. And like they said at the very, very beginning, there's the potential for 3 tiers, I think is what they showed. 3 tiers total, so Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. And in each one of those, they showed a potential for a figure. So we're looking at 4 figures. So at between $20 and $25 for each figure, if you were just buying them alone, there's $100. So now you could kind of look at that and say, all right, I'm getting 4 figures, which you're probably going to buy anyways, at $25 a pop. There's $100. And there's a ripcord. I'll pause it right there. You're also getting, those weapons that are right there with ripcord look amazing as well. So we need more weapons like that. We need better weapons. Now, the only thing is, give us some blast effects with the figures. Give us a second head, with a happy face and a mad face, an angry face. That's the next step in this. In all of this, the next step in all of this is you got to give us multiple heads with these figures. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, if it unlocks everything, which it probably will, you're looking at 4 figures. That's $100. That means for $179, you're getting the vehicle, and then the Dragonfly itself, and then any of the other add-ons that they give you. Is this ideal? Would it be better if it was only $200 instead of $279? Absolutely, it would be better. But for the price and the amount of figures you're going to get, when you compare it to the HISS tank, this is better. This is better than the HISS tank. And I was excited and liked the HISS tank. So this is amazing. This is unbelievable. Here we go. We're revealed. So we know we're getting, it's going to get to 13,000. It's got to get to 19,000 in order to unlock everything. Man, that's a lot. 19,000. I have to go back and see what the HIS tank ultimately hit. I think the HIS tank hit 19,000. I think it hit over 20,000 to unlock everything. So if we could get, now the speculation is, what will the other figures be? Who could the other figures be? They've already revealed quite a few things. It's got to be some, who else could it be? I'll have to think about that a little bit and see. When I do my follow-up video on this with the shorter one, I'll give some thoughts on what I think the other vehicles might be. So, all right, they are signing off. I am going to sign off as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully